We on, bro. So let's recap. First, before we do that, what's the
Man,
score in the game now? It's been a couple weeks. I want to apologize. I had to go to Jersey, people. So we'll do a little small talk before we get really into the subject. Let a couple people get in the room. Um, how's everything been going the last couple weeks since we've been apart?
man, things been going, man. Has it been a couple of weeks already? I feel like we just got
About
we've been
10 days.
yeah. I mean, we've been on in 2024, right? I think we
Yes.
just had one
Yeah,
show so far in 2024.
that's right.
Yeah, man, everything was good, man, until about 4:30, 6:30 ish today. But all the way up into that, everything's been good, man. Life is good. I can't complain. Um, but yeah, what's going on your way, man?
Not much. Just got back from Philly. Wore some 49er gear around the city. They was not rocking with me.
Oh,
TSA
I
didn't
know.
want to help me. I don't know what was up there in Philly. It's bad business up there for a San Francisco 49ers fan. But I
It's
had fun,
bad business.
man.
It's,
Look, I went to the Rocky joint, saw that. I ran the steps. Uh
Got to do that. I did that when I was there with Cowboys gear on. Matter of fact,
saw the Liberty Bell. I had a good time, bro. Like, we only went all day Friday. I went to like the oldest bar ever in Philly. Um, that's been there since like the 1860s, and they have all their liquor licenses up from like the 1800s. It's pretty cool.
man,
Then went and got a big Philly cheesesteak.
you
You know what
got
I'm
to
saying?
get you a Philly steak up there, man. You can't leave Philly without getting the Philly, dog.
No doubt.
They put me on that. I didn't have a real one until I went up there, man. They put me on that whole cheese whiz, putting the cheese whiz on the Philly, man.
Oh, so did you like that?
I
One of the
rocked with it. It was
bros.
it was different for me, man. Actually, now I do it here, so it was enlightening for me. Well,
So
you didn't
one of
like
the one of the bros told me not to do the cheese whiz, so I didn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
it?
But um, he just said don't do it. I don't know what it was.
I don't know. Maybe I mean, look, man, different strokes for different folks. I was up there, you know, the people in Philly was like, "Yeah, man, we put the whiz on it." I'm like, "All right." I guess it depends. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I guess it's like anything else.
I agree.
But what we at, man? We on the live too,
Yeah, we on the live. Got 3 people in. Y'all tap in. Say what's up.
man.
Write a comment.
Tap in, man.
Let us know. Let us know that you in here.
Tap in, man. Hey, I need somebody to give me some uplift, man. Look, man. I'm a Cowboys fan. Look, I need some uplift, man. I need some encouraging comments. You know, look, I already know how this is about to go, but nah, man. Look, I yeah, I'm a little disappointed, man. A little disappointed.
Uh, I feel like that's an understatement,
Yo,
right?
so it's one of those things where us non-delusional Cowboys fans mentally prepare ourselves for things like this to happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you hoping for the best. I thought this would happen next week if it did happen. I was like, you know what? Everything is aligning perfect for us. The expectations are high. We're probably not even gonna see, we ain't gonna see the 49ers or whoever is in the NFC championship. That's what I mean. But I didn't think it was gonna happen in the divisional round. I thought we might have got another playoff win. But yeah, everything was aligning too perfectly, man. Like the planets were aligning, all 2 straight home games, home field advantage, number 2 seed. I'm like, man, this just seems like one of those situations that the Cowboys gonna screw up. And I started to feel it at 14-0. I'm like, uh-oh. I think
Well, I started to feel it at 14-0 too, just as like a neutral fan watching because nothing they were doing was fluky. I'm gonna be honest with you. It looked like the Arizona Buffalo kind of joint,
that
except Jordan Love started looking like Pat Mahomes.
was looking like Aaron. Like I said, he's looking like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, the same like those throws he was making off his back leg, off balance. Um, but look, man, I'm gonna tell you this, Keith. I mean, you've been saying this about McCarthy, versus like a Kyle Shanahan. Hey, man.
Which LaFleur is a Shanahan acolyte.
Yo, that we got out schemed on both sides of the ball, man.
I told somebody. Do you remember the stuff Micah said on his podcast after the Week 5 game against San Francisco?
Oh,
It's,
about Kyle Shanahan
yes,
being a better offensive mind.
yes. Just saying, like he felt like what did his exact words were? I felt like they knew everything that we were in. They out schemed us. That's not. I don't think in a right way. He was trying to talk bad about your coach, but that's talking bad about your coach.
Yeah, I mean, Micah is objective for for the sake of his podcast.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'll say this, man. Like watching Green Bay play, watching that offense on the field, watching Jordan Love, bro, them completions was wide open catches. I'm talking like 30-yard wide open. Like these Romeo Dobbs was getting schemed open. They ran the same play with their tight end. They schemed them wide open down the field. These were like uncovered. They were like butchering whatever zone that Dan Quinn decided to put them in all of a sudden. I don't know what it is with Dan Quinn and knowing how to put, being in man and being in the zone. It's like he can't pinpoint the right time to do it.
That being in zone, I'm going to tell you, that one play where he threw to the back end tight end running across the backside, we ran that play against Green Bay 3 years ago with Kittle.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, man. It was just. I mean, it just felt like they just got out schemed on both sides of the ball. Like Dak didn't have anyone open when he was like Dak was struggling because nobody was open, and then he started trying to force it, and he was starting to pick up some of his old habits. Well, his habits from last season. I can't say old habits, but because it was just last season mostly. But yeah, he started to revert back to that because he started trying to force the ball because nobody was getting separation. So it's like, I mean, and you saw the stuff that happened in the fourth quarter. That was all, as Uncle Shay would say, empty calories. I mean, that was just, you're getting soft coverage. They're playing more. Green Bay's playing more conservative. They're just trying to run the clock out. So it's like, I mean, yeah, you made the score look a little better than what it was, but I mean, for the most part, I mean, you got dominated. You got out-schemed. You got outplayed. I mean, this feels like deja vu, Keith. This feels like the same thing I was saying right after we got on after the Bills game.
Right.
So, I mean.
This was worse.
Oh, absolutely. The stakes were higher.
Right.
But I can't just pinpoint. It's one of those things where I can't just pinpoint it to like one thing. It was just a collective ass whooping across the board.
Out physical, that boy Aaron Jones, y'all had him looking like AP in his prime.
Just like James Cook.
Right.
You know what I mean? James Cook, I mean, he was good, but he won't popping off like that before we played them.
So I chopped it up with a Green Bay fan, and they were like, we know McCarthy. He was our coach. And they thought he put too much on the shoulders of Aaron Rodgers. Like, we're balling with Aaron. Man for man, we're kind of better than y'all. And y'all are balling with CD, but nothing exotic was done, to your point, to scheme CD open. And you could see after the first series or two, he was already frustrated because players know when they're not being put into the right situations. And so, like you said, Dobbs and them getting schemed open 30, 40 yards down the field, that's familiar to me because Shanahan does that type. So now I see why people be like, oh, Purdy's not that good because people are running wide open all the time. But
I'm talking like when I say wide open, I'm saying Romeo Dobbs catching the ball, and I'm saying here 1,000, 2,000, 3 1,000. Oh, there's Ron Curse on the screen. Oh, there is somebody else on the field. Like I'm talking, these guys were wide open, and I'm like, yo, that's scheme, man. You know what I mean? That's all scheming, and it was just it was just done at a higher level by the Packers, and I got to tilt my hat to the Packers, man. You got a young team coming in here as underdogs. They come in, mostly first and second year players, first role playoff game. They come in the house of a team that ain't lost at home in 2 years, and they bust their ass. So I gotta give props to the Packers, man, and that should be a wake up call for y'all too, because y'all got to see him next.
Well, we get the implications of that first. The difference between us and y'all is Shanahan is just as good at schematics as LaFleur. So he'll have some things at least to punch back with, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one thing that you've seen is, and it's not always true, so you can't say that, but for the most part, Shanahan owns his underlings, McVay, LaFleur, McDaniel. So if you're not ready, to your point, for that style of football, for that brand of football, schematically, you won't. First off, y'all don't have the linebackers. I'm just sorry, y'all don't. The reason people are like, oh, why were they able to fluster the 49ers or do whatever? Cleveland and Baltimore have a certain linebackers that most teams in the league do not have. If we did not play the AFC North this year, we would not have. And we still got the number one seed. If we did not play the AFC North this year, we would not have 5 losses. I guarantee you. We only lost one game. Well, I guess 2. The last game against the Rams, but throughout the season, we only lost one game in the NFC. That was to Minnesota. And so, schematically, as a fan, I don't ever feel like I go into a game where I'm like, man, he's just gonna get out coached. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it happens, and it's happened a couple times, but the guys who do it, like Jim Schwartz and the McDonald guy from Baltimore, those are the top of the line guys too. So, um,
I don't know if
hey,
Kyle's
I like to troll the Cowboys fans. I ain't like sitting here gonna be like, but that's got to be tough. Between the last month, the heartache of Philly and Dallas, to go from December 3rd, Philly, we're the number 1 seed. We got this thing locked up. To play, damn, now they're in the playoffs longer than Dallas.
that's just a that's just because they play on the next day.
Semantics. That's semantics, right? That's semantics. That's true.
But they got a chance to fix it now. Maybe they get motivated by seeing Dallas go down.
Because if they win tomorrow, they play Detroit or the Rams.
Yep.
So now they don't have to play San Francisco to the NFC Championship.
We did everybody a favor by losing.
The favors that they did you guys down the stretch, y'all just paid it back to everybody.
We just gave it right back to them. Yeah, it couldn't have been set up any better for Dallas to finally. I wasn't even thinking Super Bowl, Keith. I'm thinking like, yo, we finally going back to an NFC Championship game. You know what I mean? That'll be nice. The realistic fan who's been watching this team for the last 28 years was like, all these, people online talking about, I saw my man's talking about the Rams scenario and with y'all and all that. I'm like, I'm not thinking about what the 49ers are doing, man.
Right.
I'm thinking about what we doing. We got to get out of this round and the next round because I've seen this so many times, Keith, over and over. It's on replay. Like that post you put up, you reposted something from this day last year, and it applied perfectly. It's the exact same every time, Keith. And my delusional counterparts fall for it every single year. And I don't get it. I'm always telling them like, yeah, man, this is dope. It's the regular season though.
No,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, I actually fell for it and thought it was different. I'm gonna tell you when I fell off, when I knew it was the same old thing. And I was in my Stephen A in my head. Just wait. After the Buffalo game, I said now that's a game plan that Arizona and Buffalo has used. In Arizona, I know their record's bad. It's not fluky. Like they ran the ball down Philly's throat. And now what I saw they were able to do to you. Granted, we didn't do it to you in that same way, but we still did whatever we wanted to on offense against Dallas. I just think against the upper echelons teams, that's when I was like, okay, I don't trust them. You know what I'm saying? I remember what did I say Miami Dolphins were?
Y'all said they were AFC version of us.
I said that, right?
You said that. I said it as well. I just said they're faster. I said they're a faster version of us.
Right.
Yeah. No, yeah. We talked about it, man. We had a whole segment about it. No, you were absolutely right. And it's the same. It really is. It's actually kind of eerie how similar they are. You know what I mean?
It is.
and they played each other, and it came down to which team was at home. You know what I mean? Both bad road teams. It came down to a close game at home. But yeah, man, I've been ever since I saw the Arizona game. That's when I completely was just like, all right, man, I can already see how this could potentially go. And then the Bills game is when I really, really just I kind of checked out. Not checked out as in I didn't have any faith at all, but I checked out on Super Bowl hopes. I'm like, man, this is not a Super Bowl team. But then when the planets started to align, and then we were like, okay, a couple of home games, maybe we can do something. Yeah. I thought we were going to win today. I didn't come into this game thinking we were going to lose. I thought they were going to make it interesting. They're a hot team, but I didn't think it was going to just be an ass whooping, man. 27-0 at one point.
There were two things. I thought Dallas was going to smash them, but there was two things leading up that I didn't keep up with. When I heard, it made me start being like, I told one of the parents, we do bets together. I told him Thursday at my son's basketball practice. I said, do not bet Dallas on the -7. I said, bet Green Bay +7. I'm not saying they're going to win, but also there's two things that made me go back on my thinking. I remember early in the year, Aaron, I remember Jordan Love was struggling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess since they're bye or whatever, he's 18 touchdowns, 1 pick. So that made me have cause for pause. Then they said Aaron Jones been running the ball down everybody's throat. And I'm like, that's a perfect recipe for Dallas. And to your point, the schematics of it all. But I could tell he was on one when he hit that third touchdown, he hit that back foot and just floated that thing up through the middle of the end zone. I said, oh, he on a different level tonight.
Bro, he was looking like Aaron Rodgers. Like, I was like, man, this just looks like the way it looks every time we play the Packers in the playoffs. Before we had our little issues with y'all the last couple of years, it was the Packers. And the Packers, it was always some kind of fluke occurrence. There was the pass on the sideline.
Right.
For 35 yards, they were like 3rd and 30. And he caught that pass to put them in field goal range. They won the game by field goal. That was the game that Dak made a crazy comeback in. And then there was the catch, the Dez Bryant. Oh, you finally got the song up, huh?
I do. You want me to play it?
I mean, I thought we was gonna open with it, but I mean, you want go ahead.
It's all the same. Only the seasons change every year. This team just comes up late. People always say they could win the Super Bowl. We heard the same old crowd about Tony Romo. They're the Cowboys. They're always way over high. They've been average since 95. Why do people act like Dak is Tom Brady? One of them's the GOAT, and one's a baby seed. And Mike McCarthy is no Bill Belichick. It's like the dude's never heard of cockpit. It's man. They're the Cowboys, the most overrated team alive. And I don't care if they went 12-5. They're a crappy team in disguise ever since 95.
Man, that was the worst thing I've seen all week.
Who wrote that song?
I don't know, man, but they had me bugging with the little background singers.
That's a play off of Dead or Alive.
Yeah, I know. That, yeah, man, we're dead right now. That's what it is, man. So what do you think, man? Well, what's going to be going on, like all from tonight through tomorrow, probably the rest of the week.
So I celebrated Pete Carroll getting fired. Then I thought, yeah, maybe Seattle will hire somebody better. I want him to stay. Hey, let's keep Mike McCarthy in place. What do we need him to leave for? I want him to stay.
Ask me if I think he's gonna be fired.
Do you think he's gonna get fired?
No.
Mm.
If it now, I'll tell you this: it's high. It's more likely now than it was, I think, before the Bill Belichick news. I think every GM, when the GMs woke up the morning, that morning to Bill Belichick no longer being with the Patriots, I think a lot of coaches' mindset changed going into next season. A lot of reconsideration. So I don't know.
As far as what?
I mean, you got to rethink it, man. You looking at your coach sideways. You looking like, man, is this really?
I like this. I like where this is going. What coaches do you think woke up and just saw he was open and they were like, my job's safe. I don't really care.
What coaches thought their jobs were safe?
Yeah.
Kyle wasn't worried. McVay's not worried. Harbaugh's not worried. Who else?
Andy Reid.
Oh yeah, of course. Andy Reid. I'm sitting trying to think of like the 10-year coaches who win. Yeah. I mean, those guys like that, man. But when you got them like when you got those guys on shaky ground, like your Mike McCarthy's and your Sirianni. Hey, before Dallas, I mean, I think I posted something about that around when it happened. I'm like, okay, Sirianni, because Sirianni been getting a lot of boo birds, man. They want him up out of there in Philly, man. People are saying he got exposed when his coordinators left.
He did, and so there's only a couple. I listen to a lot of people. One thing I like, this guy named Middlecoff I listen to. He be on Colin Cowherd shit. But the thing I like that he said is, if you're a young head coach now, I need you to take care of your half of the ball.
Yeah.
So you don't need the court. So like D'Amico is handling the defense in Houston, right? Kyle McVay, those guys, Andy Reid, they handle the offense. Sirianni, what do? We don't need no. So there's like, they call them CEO head coaches. That's what Jimmy Johnson was, right? But those are kind of going by the wayside. There's only like 2 or 3 of those that are real successful. Can you guess what 2 of them are? It won't surprise you because the 2 I'm thinking of come from the division that still plays like it's 80s and 90s football. What division did we say that was?
It still plays like 80s and 90s?
Yes.
And we're talking about the coaches that are left?
Yep, in that division.
The AFC North?
The AFC North. And who are the 2 CEO head coaches in that that are not an offensive or defensive coordinator?
You got Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
And and Tomlin. Yep.
Other than that, because they're the ones that you see have to change coordinators all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Always swapping out and doing that kind of stuff, but they stay successful. So Sirianni, we don't need no excuses. Like your man Harbaugh went to go find somebody from college, Mark Mayhew, to go work with Lamar this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you got to keep it moving. And so either if you're going to be that CEO, you got to be innovative, have a lot of relationships and figure it out. If not, you got to get fired. You got to take care of your half of the ball. Like, look at Dan Quinn. What is Dan Quinn's coaching career without Kyle Shanahan?
He's a defensive. I mean, before Kyle Shanahan, he was mostly known for the work he put in Seattle.
Yeah, but and now we know that is pretty much built about the talent and the coach.
Yeah. But I mean, it was the same thing with Mike. We tried up until this season. That's what they were trying with Mike McCarthy. He wasn't calling plays or the defense. And then this is kind of him trying to put his destiny in his own hands by taking over play calling responsibilities, because he realized, like, yo, if I keep putting this in somebody else's hands, then my future is being determined based on
somebody else.
Yeah, right. Like a Kellen Moore or somebody. I had doing bad situational play call, which we see him continue to do with the Chargers.
So
But
here's the narrative around Ninerland is that if we don't get out of NFC, there is a section, it's not me, that thinks that we should move on from Kyle.
Why? You know what I mean? Because you look at what you guys have done.
Because he can't win the big one. That's going to be what they say.
That's the knock on him. But I mean, he gets to the big one. And a lot of coaches don't even make it there. You know, I mean, who you gonna replace him with? You know, that's I mean, because you're looking like he one of those coaches, man. As soon as you let him go, then his phone will be ringing off the hook. You know what I mean?
What's gonna happen is he's gonna go to Kansas City or Denver and find his Pat Mahomes and then win 2 or 3 championships. At least Philly got lucky that they won one right after he left. But if it wasn't for that, Andy Reid's winning. Like nothing would surprise me if they win it this year.
Andy Reid?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, it's they talk about championship medal and all of that.
I believe in it.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it in this last game, man, against Miami. I mean, they look different. They look, you know what I mean? The struggling Chiefs that we've been seeing, they look like they had come back to form.
But what do we call Miami?
Yeah, but they are I saw them as better than the Chiefs this season, though. I mean, they look better than the Chiefs.
I didn't never think that.
I'm talking about like from a talent perspective, you didn't think they looked better?
I thought from a toughness perspective, no, they did not.
From a toughness perspective, well, I mean, you got injuries on the Miami side too. But I mean, when I look at the Chiefs, their whole makeup has been pretty much their defense this season. And then on the offensive side, it's been all about getting Travis Kelce the ball, and then that hard body running by Pacheco. It hasn't really been like one of those Patrick Mahomes type seasons, really.
I don't know. You're spot on right, but when they played head to head, Kansas City won. I think Miami I think they're very injured too. They lost both their edge rushers, and they lost a lot of talent to injury. But if you're asking me, yeah, when you score 70 points, you do look better than somebody else. But I'm a big judge of who are you doing this against?
Mm-hmm.
The likes of the Denver Broncos and these teams that they were running up all these points on, they're not in the playoffs. That's a different level of. That's why the guy was like, he'll be so upset if San Francisco doesn't come out of the NFC because everything is kind of. I don't think there will be a team that we play that we're not laying 10 points against.
Yeah, no,
at least a touchdown. Huh?
That should be the case, man. But I mean, as you saw tonight, with the Green Bay Packers, I mean, any given Sunday, anything can happen, man.
That's 1,000% true.
Yeah, so I mean, you can't underestimate anybody. Them boys, them some young man. That's Green Bay scary, man. Them a bunch of first and second year players. They're the youngest team in the NFL. One of the youngest.
Besides Aaron Jones, I mean,
yeah, everybody.
I know Gary and some of those guys. I mean, I'm confident. I would say this: I'm still confident in my team going against Green Bay.
You should be.
But do I think they present certain things? For sure. I think Fred Warner and Greenlaw are going to cause them problems that your guys second level did not. And I think that's the difference between us and a lot of teams in the NFC. Who has good linebacking core in the NFC?
In the NFC?
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Crickets. Can you even name another good linebacker in the NFC?
I mean, that actually plays linebacker
in the playoffs. I mean, no. If y'all played Micah at line, but I don't know. What do you think about him? We're gonna get off here. The Rams and Detroit game just went to halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit's up 21-17.
Yeah, it's a good game, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna come down to the wire. Way better than the first game.
Hey. I didn't expect that. And to be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted us to do that to y'all in the NFC Championship.
I mean, and that's the thing, man. It's like I hear the people trolling the Cowboys, because people seem to worry about the Cowboys more than they worry about their own teams. But it's like, man.
Well, that's one thing. When people say that to me, I do not worry about y'all more than I worry about my 49ers.
But you give them a lot of energy.
I do give them energy but I would say this. If it's one fan base that I get energy back from when we lose, even if we beat up on y'all for 10 years in a row, if we lose to the Cincinnati Bengals, guess who's in my DMs and who's in my mentions?
Probably a few Cowboy fans.
Okay, so we give each other certain energy, right?
That's not the same. It's because it's you, Keith. It ain't about you being a 49ers fan. It's about you being Keith Murphy. No, we have not, up until like 2 years ago, we have not cared about the San Francisco Cowboys rivalry because it hasn't existed. It hasn't been seen since the 90s. This is new. We hate the Eagles. That's who Dallas Cowboy fans hate. They hate Eagles, Eagles fans. But yeah, no, that's Keith Murphy energy you getting, man. Ain't no damn. They don't damn about no 49ers, man. They only care about it because you care about them, Keith. But nah, I mean, it's not a you thing, in regards to the energy. I mean, it's like everybody's celebrating online right now because they control Cowboy fans. Oh, Cowboy fans, quiet. Oh, so it's quiet on the timeline. It's like that's what everybody want to do, man. And it's crazy because it's like it used to be like that, but I see more Cowboys haters than I see Cowboys fans. Like I don't even see us. We ain't even popping off like that. It's the people who hate us that pop off. That's why I was like, people say how annoying our fan base is. I'm like, yo, the haters have become more annoying than the fans. We ain't even talking like that. We say go Cowboys when we win. Yeah, go Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? We just cheering for our team. Yo, the haters is just out there waiting, just like. Yeah.
Yo, your man is back. We got to do this.
What's up? My man is back.
You remember we did a Jair Alexander segment because he deboed the coin toss.
Oh, what he on now, man?
Hold on, we about
What's
to see.
He on now? I saw he pulled up on that reporter's. The reporter was doing a little report, man, and he just popped up in her video, and she thought he was a fan.
Say what?
He pulled up on a reporter, like a Green Bay area local reporter. She was like reporting in front of the stadium, and he jumped in the video. He jumped on live TV, and she didn't recognize him. She thought he was a fan. She's like, "Yeah, there's a fan. He's hype."
Right.
Yeah, it went viral.
Oh, they didn't know he was a player.
They didn't know who he was. Nah, the girl, it was a female reporter. Yeah, she didn't know who he was. She was reporting on the Green Bay Packers. And then he popped up right in the middle of the report, and she didn't know who he was.
It's crazy how they don't know who he is. He's not. He's been like all pro, definitely Pro Bowl. I know that.
She had to be like this. Had to be just an assignment for her, and she's not really.
I can see if he show up with those stupid sunglasses, just talking crazy, doing whatever. I could understand how you would not know who he is. You know what I'm saying?
He was goofing, man. He was goofing off. You know what I mean? But if you ain't following the team closely, then you don't know him. But I mean, like he's very, we're not a part of that demographic or that fan base at all, and we know who he is. So you would think a reporter that reports locally in Green Bay who happens to be reporting on the Packers would know who like one of the best players on the team is.
Right.
One of the best players at his position in the NFL is. That guy got an interception today on a bum leg.
All right, here we go, bro. Here we go.
Nah, man. Look. We I gotta let that breathe for a little while.
All right.
For real, it was lit. Honestly, like, there's no better feeling. Like, there's a few quarterbacks who've thrown me multiple picks in my career, and Dak is now one of them. So he's among my top QBs. It was lit. For real, it was lit.
You hear what he said?
I heard what he said, man. Man, we gotta get a soundboard on here, Keith.
We do, for sure.
We'll get him the horn.
He's a clown.
He'll get the horns for that.
He's
But
a
not-
clown.
Hey, look, man, he earned the right. He earned the right to move that way.
He did. He played
know,
well, and I
he
thought he was
earned
gonna be questionable, not even be able to get to play. So there's that.
Right.
But if you still up, man, it's MLK Day. But maybe we'll get up a little bit after this Rams Detroit thing. But let's cap it here, man. You got anything else?
Yo, we can hit the MLK up tomorrow, man, and kind of go through a little bit more of what's happening and kind of preview the games for tomorrow night too.
All right, let's do that.
Let's get it.
All right.
Blessings, my brother.